UFC Vegas 26. We're doing it a little different today. We decided, hey, let's go live for this. Not wait for this card. It's pretty exciting. We had to wait it out and see because I was a little bit worried that the main event wouldn't be Rodriguez and Waterson, but it seems to be confirmed. And if it does change, we can do another video worst case. But as of right now, this seems like it's the main event. Rodriguez, Waterson is no longer an unconfirmed rumor on Tapology. We're going to go through the full card from top to bottom. If you're just tuning in, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. If you're watching live, smash the like button. And if you're watching on replay, smash it too. The goal for this video, I want triple digits. I want 100 likes. We haven't done it yet, but I do believe we can pull it off. And this is the video that's going to do it. Appreciate everybody tuning in live. Everybody else watching on replay, I appreciate you guys too. We're going to start it off with the first fight of the evening. Mike Trizano comes back, takes on Ľudovít Klein. If you don't know Mike Trizano, he's an Ultimate Fighter winner. Victory over Violent Bob Ross. He won that show against Joe Giannetti. He did lose his last fight, but I mean, the guy he lost to is Grant Dawson, who's went on an absolute tear. That was about 2 years ago. He takes on Ľudovít Klein, who looks like a human striking highlight reel. I mean, the guy is a killer, and anybody that puts out Brad Riddell the way he did, I believe he was in the first round, or excuse me, not Brad Riddell, Shane Young, training partner and teammate. He put him out in the first, I believe it was a minute 17 seconds in. This guy is an explosive striker. Mike Trizano is pretty well-rounded. Obviously, he trains at Tiger Schulman's. They're known for having very good kickboxing, but he does have a good grappling base too, good wrestling ability. But still, I think Ľudovít Klein is somebody to watch here in this featherweight division. He's a really fun style. He's very high level with his kickboxing. I think he gets the stoppage here of Mike Trizano in the second round, and I think he moves forward here in this featherweight division. But one thing to note, he missed weight last time out at 150. He cannot miss weight again here, or he'll be forced to move up to 155. At 5'7", 155 is a very difficult weight class. Trizano is 5'11", but the reach favors Ľudovít Klein still. I think Klein gets it done and beats Mike Trizano. We'll check out the betting odds here. Minus 245 to plus 205. There are a couple of props available. Over 2.5 at minus 210. Under 2.5, minus 120. Fight doesn't go the distance, minus 130. Not that many good props up just yet. I like a Klein, I like a Klein knockout prop bet if you are looking for props. I do think he's going to get the knockout of Mike Trizano. And I think it's 2 rounds or less here for this fight. Let's get to the next fight on the card. All right. Tafon Nchukwi and Yong Park. Nchukwi drops down to the middleweight division. I think it's an excellent move for his career. At light heavyweight, at 6 feet, it's not that he was necessarily undersized in bone structure, but against some of the taller guys, I think it could have been a problem. Granted, he does bring a 77-inch reach. Yong Park is a pretty well-rounded fighter. In his last fight, he showed a lot of the grappling game. Lots of takedowns on John Phillips. I feel like against Tafon Nchukwi, that's going to be the game plan. It's going to be similar. He's going to be looking to grab the legs, get a hold of this man, because Tafon Nchukwi is an animal. And honestly, I feel like Tafon Nchukwi is going to put Yong Park to sleep here in this fight. I'm very excited to see it. And I think we're going to be looking at Tafon Nchukwi in 2 rounds or less here. And I think it's going to be done with the hands. He's taller. He's bigger. Jamie Pickett gave him a stern test because of his length, because of the way he moved from the outside. Park does not have any of those things. We're going to see Tafon Nchukwi put to sleep Yong Park here. And the odds right now are probably going to be strongly in the favorite of Tafon Nchukwi. Minus 160 to plus 140. I wouldn't say that's strong, but that's somewhat. Still, no good props available. Make sure you guys tune in for the weigh-in recap later on in the week, and we'll go over all the best props, or I might even throw a betting-only video in between now and the weigh-in recap, or maybe even a live stream sometime soon. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe and turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss one video. I'm going to answer a couple comments here for just a second. The live chat. Thoughts on Joshua Fabia? I don't really have too many things to say. I don't know. It's Diego, his time in the UFC is probably past. Ľudovít. Oh, we have a question about Ľudovít Klein's ground game. I do want to answer that. I believe it's decent enough to deal with Mike Trizano's here, and I do think he's going to get him out of there. All right. Let's get to the next fight on the card. Christian Aguilera takes on up-and-coming prospect Carlston Harris. This guy's actually fought some legit names in Brazil. We'll look at his record real quick because I want to pull through this and show you guys. Okay. Legit. Wellington Turman. Michel Pereira. I mean, Jolton Lutherbach is decent. He's beaten real guys. Earlier on in the Brazil scene, Christian Aguilera came into the UFC, gets a quick knockout of Anthony Ivy. Then the last one, he loses to Sean Brady, who's a master on the ground. Very difficult matchup for Aguilera. He didn't have much of a chance there unless he was able to really slug some leather and land something big, because that's kind of his means to victory in a lot of matchups. He's a brawler. He comes forward, chin down, and he does like to fight. Carlston here is going to work takedowns, going to be grappling heavy. And we're looking at Carlston Harris probably en route to a unanimous decision over Christian Aguilera here. He could potentially get a submission, but submission or decision is really where I'm leaning. Odds around -145 to +115. I'll see how slightly they differ from best fight odds here. -140, +120. So pretty much the same here. You're going to see Aguilera as a dog. I like the favorite Harris in this matchup to do decision or submission. So if you're going to do a prop, I do the decision or submission prop. I'm a little more confident in that outcome rather than just picking him to win this fight by a submission, because you got to give Aguilera some due respect. He's not the easiest guy to put away. Funny comment here. Fabia, I don't know about their relationship, man. I don't know about Fabia and Diego Sanchez. Who knows? I do hope the best for Diego. I followed him for a long time, and I do still think in lesser level competition, if he wants to fight, I mean, man has every right. It's free country, free choice, and Diego wants to fight, give him it. He gets great money, and I mean, I don't know who's gonna pay him $200,000 to fight anymore, but we'll find out. But now let's talk about this next fight: Maurice Greene and Marcos Rogério de Lima. Man, Maurice Greene's chin looking a little shaky. Put to sleep in the last fight by Greg Hardy. Granted, he wasn't completely out, but he was definitely hurt. John Vellante put him down, even though he won that fight. Then submission, and then a knockout loss. And the guy he got submitted by, Alessio Oleinik, is not a puncher by any means. He is 6'7", with an 82-inch reach. He's a freakish specimen of length. And from the outside, he has decent Thai-style striking. But Marcos Rogério de Lima definitely has the power edge here. He's the shorter of the two by 6 inches. And he's at a pretty solid 7-inch reach disadvantage. But on the ground, I think he's also better than Maurice Greene. He's stronger in the clinch than Maurice Greene. I think Marcos Rogério de Lima beats Maurice Greene here. I do believe he can put Maurice Greene away. The chin has not looked great. I feel like a guy like de Lima, I mean, he knocked out Ben Sassoli in, I believe, a minute 20. Yeah, he did knock out Ben. And not saying that he gets that same result against everybody, but I think he can knock out Maurice Greene here with a big overhand and probably the second round, or I could see this fight going the distance, sloppy heavyweight fight with Marcos Rogério de Lima controlling and having top position, winning a decision. Either way, I see -180 favorite de Lima winning this bout against the +145 dog. I wouldn't throw my money down on Maurice Greene. I just don't feel that confidence. And Thomas Howard, yes sir, I'm pumping out the content ASAP. We're always consistent. Usually I do these UFC full cards pre-recorded, but I wanted to do it live to do something different, and truly because I was not 100% sure about the main event, if it was going to stick around. So we may have to do another one if they end up changing that main event. But this right now is the confirmed card as we see it. Michael K says Maurice Greene has gotten a lot better shape. Even though the shape is good, the chin is always a question for me. It's up high, and he's not the most athletic guy, nor is he the most physically strong. I like Greene. I wish him the best, but I think de Lima's a bit of an overmatch for him. I mean, he got put down bad against John Vellante. We'll be going over the safest bet at the end, so stick around. We're going to go through some of the definitely safe bets. From what we've already talked about, I'll tell you, I think that very strong confidence, you go Tafon Nchukwi. I think he's one of the safer bets of these earlier ones that we just went through here. I appreciate you, Rami, saying we're doing good. We're putting in the work out here. Make sure you guys smash the like button and subscribe if you have not already. The goal is 100 likes on this video. Ryan Benoit, Zarrukh, Adashev, this featured prelim bout. Benoit, he beat Sergio Pettis back in the day, if you guys remember that. Now Sergio's fighting for a world title over at Bellator this week. Zarrukh Adashev, the Lion. He's actually a really good striker, which kind of sucks that he didn't get to show any of that skill in his first fight. I mean, the guy has explosive power. He fought Sue Mataraji, and I mean, he had a couple moments, but overall, Sue did control range. He moved well. I don't think you go out there and stop Zarrukh in 30 seconds. I think he happened to get him like that. It was just Nam's destiny there. I mean, Nam has been fighting forever, and the MMA game is different than kickboxing. The gloves being smaller, shots land through the guard that normally would be blocked by the bigger gloves. Ryan Benoit is a pretty well-rounded fighter, but I definitely like his striking. He has decent kickboxing, but he's fighting a pro-level kickboxer here. My personal opinion, dog or pass bet on this one. I know Zarrukh is only 3-3, but Benoit has not had good results. He's 10-7 as a pro. Ali Alatong by a split decision, which I will say, seeing a split decision against Ali does pump my comments a little. Tim Elliott, unanimous decision. Are we live? All right, we're back live. Sorry about that, guys. We had a little lag out here. But we're still good. We're still in this game. We're still back. Thank you, Irrational, for that $5 donation. You're the man. Appreciate that support, dude. All right. Let's get back into this. Get everything pumping and flowing again. All right, I apologize for that delay there. What happened with that? All right, but we're still on. We're still live. All right, Zarrukh Adashev has a puncher's chance. Ryan Benoit, not a guy to throw money down. I'm going dog or pass here. I think Zarrukh Adashev might get put on his back and controlled by Benoit on the ground, but fade the bet unless you're going with the dog, is my opinion for this fight right here. So I can slightly lean Adashev because I do think he can land some big punches, but I feel like Benoit is going to just clinch him up and work a lot of wrestling. At plus 125, I don't love it. Not loving a bet on either one of these guys. I think it's just too inconsistent with results, and for Adashev, just lacking experience. And again, got to shout out Irrational for giving me that donation. I appreciate you, my brother. And to Thomas Howard, yeah, man, don't bet on guys with records like this. I mean, I don't want to throw anything down on either of them. Let's be smart here. I don't know. I think it's risky. I definitely think it's a toss-up fight. Truly, Adashev should be put on his back and controlled, but who knows who shows up with Benoit. I don't like a bet on this fight at all. We'll go for the dog here, but really not high confidence in either fighter in this matchup. But I do think it has potential to be an action-packed fight. Now, the next fight on the card, Phil Hawes versus Kyle Daukaus. This is actually the first fight on that main card. Phil Hawes, Megatron, Kyle Daukaus, very good on the ground. I've actually been really impressed with Daukaus' whole game. I mean, his brother Chris is a top heavyweight in the world. He's training alongside him. I think that's making him a lot better. His brother Chris has got some nasty boxing, and Daukaus can definitely mix it up with the hands a bit too. Phil Hawes, big power, shit gas tank. Like, let's be honest, Phil Hawes, he's really good, but the gas tank is going to be question mark, as serious a question mark as we can get. I think that Phil Hawes, in the first round and a half, is his most dangerous. I think he's going to come at Kyle hard, but I do think Daukaus is durable. He's going to be able to take the shots Phil is throwing at him. Phil's going to overextend himself. I do think Kyle Daukaus may even be put on his back a bit early, but his jiu-jitsu is very good. I think that maybe he loses the first round, but I think he turns up in the second and third. I think Kyle Daukaus could actually get a submission over Phil Hawes. I really do think he could somehow tire Phil out, end up getting the back and choking him out. I'm thinking submission Kyle Daukaus round number 3 here. That's the bet that I like. I see the rear naked choke. If it doesn't go that way, could also see a decision. Either way, I do like Daukaus in this fight. Dawes has a lot of hype behind him, but man, I was not impressed by that last matchup. I really was not impressed against Nazarena Mavov. He looked tired and looked like he really didn't want it bad. Let me answer a comment here. Yeah, Adashev, you don't think he should be in the UFC? I honestly, man, at 3-3, we'll see what he does against Benoit. I don't like the pick on either one of those guys there. Just too much risk with not enough reward, unless you're throwing down on the dog a little something. All right, this fight here, Kyle Daukaus, minus 140 favorite. I'm going to throw a submission prop out there. They're not listed yet, but you know the money is going to probably be pretty decent at plus, and I do think it'd be worth it. We're sitting at least from my end, if you're watching on replay, who knows how many likes we got. Right now we got 16. Smash the like button. Let's get it to 20 here pretty soon. And let's keep pumping it up. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Goal is 100 likes on this video. It's a big goal, but it's a goal that we're going to hit here. Next fight on the card. Diego Ferreira versus Gregor Gillespie. This fight right here is interesting because it's striker versus, take that back, grappler versus grappler, but you have the more wrestling-based style of Gregor Gillespie, excellent offensive takedowns, very good control from the top, nasty arm triangle. You look at Diego Ferreira, the more jiu-jitsu-esque style. He's going to get you back. He'll look for submissions there. He has an okay striking game, not the most high level, but decent enough. And he does have solid takedowns, but I don't think he's putting Gregor Gillespie on his back. Gregor Gillespie is an animal of a wrestler. He's had some time off, and it's been a while since we've seen him fight. Having that time off, I do think, could be a potential factor to slight ring rust, but I still believe that Gregor Gillespie, training his ass off, getting better, I think he has a skill set to be very good. He needs to be cautious of Diego Ferreira. I would suggest he does not shoot for a double leg in the open space of the mat here, because I think he could get guillotined. Diego Ferreira's submission game is excellent. He's been in there with solid names. You look at some of the recent wins. He choked out Pettis, beat Murabek Tomasov, Rustam Khabilov he beat, who's a good grappler, and Kyle Nelson. But still, I think Gillespie is very difficult to deal with the grappling. My only major concern would be, what if it's a standing fight? How is Gillespie's kickboxing? It's a bit stiff and square, but he has some power in the hands, and he's very explosive. Diego Ferreira, not the best striker in his own right. I feel like on the feet, it's more of a competitive fight. I would see it going the distance with maybe a 29-28 or 30-27 Gregor Gillespie. I still feel like this fight will eventually hit the ground with Gillespie probably on top, but I do think Diego Ferreira's jiu-jitsu skills pose a significant enough threat to cause Gillespie to be cautious, therefore winning this fight by a decision over Diego Ferreira, who's a very difficult guy to deal with. I could see it being 29-28. I do think Gillespie wins this fight. I like the fight goes the distance prop bet on this one if you're going to do it. Let's see what it's sitting at currently. All right, let's find it here. Diego Ferreira and Gregor Gillespie. Excellent matchmaking in this fight. I actually really like it. Fight goes the distance, minus 180. Don't love it. Gillespie decision. We'll see later in the week what that they release that as. But as of right now, I don't love the fight goes the distance at the minus 180. But I do like Gillespie. Definitely a parlay pickup. Unless he gets put in a bad position, which I don't think he will. I think he's very good from that top position. I don't think Ferreira taps him. I don't see it. I see him beating Diego Ferreira by a hard-fought decision here. I don't know. I think that's the outcome we're looking at. All right, let me answer a couple comments here before we get into this epic next fight. Thoughts on Zabit Magomed Sharipov retiring? Dude, devastating, but I don't think it's true, and I think he'll be back very soon. Klein and Gregor parlay. I like the Ľudovít Klein Gregor parlay. I know some people are a little worried about Ľudovít Klein off the back, so if you are a little bit of a nervous bettor, maybe not, but I still think Klein, he's got the power to put away Trizano here. I really do. Gillespie Canelo would give you probably a guarantee. I don't see Canelo Alvarez losing to Billy Joe Saunders by any means. Chris Breezy says that he thinks that Reyes is sadly washed. I would say Reyes is definitely getting beat up, but man, they're doing him no favors with the matchmaking. But let's get into this fight here with Neal Magny and Geoff Neal. It's an exciting fight because they were supposed to fight earlier on in the year. Geoff Neal, though, in his last fight, the beating that Wonderboy gave him concerns me just a little bit because it wasn't that long ago, just 4 months ago, and he got destroyed for 5 rounds. Wonderboy showed him a whole new level to striking. Now, Neal Magny, not that level of striker. He is very long, 6'3", with an 80-inch reach, does control range fairly well, and when he's in the clinch, he's actually pretty good, and he uses that leverage advantage. But I still feel as though Geoff Neal's striking and his takedown defense is a perfect match for a guy to put away Neal Magny here. I think that Geoff Neal has heavy hands. I do think his durability is very high, and he's not going to be worried about the shots being thrown at him by Neal Magny. I think Geoff Neal closes distance. I think he's going to look for big shots. I think he'll mix in some low kicks as well, and I think he's stopping Neal Magny towards the end of the second round. I do think he gets the knockout of Neal. Could see it going the distance because Neal Magny is very high level and has been in there with top of the top guys, but man, I'm going to ride Geoff Neal to win this fight, and I think he does so by a knockout. I like the knockout prop, potentially. I might throw down on that one. Isn't listed yet, so we can't talk about what it's sitting at. But at minus 195, I'm very confident Geoff Neal can win this fight. Neal Magny's keys to victory would be clinch the hell up and get this fight to the ground. But at the end of the day, Neal's not the most physically strong guy at 170. I mean, he's 6'3". That's very light. You can't be that physically strong unless you're like the 1 in a billion genetic. And I do think Neal Magny's wrestling game is not enough to pose a significant threat to Geoff Neal here. I think he's going to piece him up on the feet a bit and get some steam back behind him after that really rough loss that we saw in the last one. Because that loss was bad. I mean, losing the way he did against Wonderboy was hard to watch. But at the end of the day, Wonderboy did that to Vicente Luque. And look how good Vicente is. Fight game is crazy here. And Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, if he beats Gilbert Burns, I want to see him in Usman. People saying Neal Magny looked terrible against Chiesa. He got destroyed on the ground. And he's not going to beat Geoff Neal here. Lockpick, Geoff Neal. Hey, anytime for the dog picks, man. The dogs came through for us on the UFC Vegas 25 card on Saturday night. That was some great stuff. I was super happy to see it. And there was some good fights on that card, especially that main one. Amanda Ribas, Angela Overkill Hill. Angela Hill is very well-rounded. She's known for decent takedown defense. Her grappling game has really improved. She's got 2 losses that I thought could have won her way. Claudia, I thought she could have won that fight. Karate Hottie, I thought she could have won that fight. And then she beat Ashley Yoder. We could be looking at Angela Hill on a 3-fight win streak, or rather, more than 3 fight. I don't know how many fight win streak, if the judges would have just swayed it her way. Win over Ariane Carnolosi, Hannah Cyphers, Loma Lukboom, Claudia Gadelia. I mean, that would be a 6-fight win streak. But instead, the judges gave it the other way. She's now 1-2 in her last 3. She takes on Amanda Ribas, who's coming off of a tough loss against our girl in the main event, Marina Rodriguez. She got stopped in that fight brutally, and she was tested there, you know. I mean, she did land a takedown. She's very good with her takedowns, and she's excellent with her Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. She was able to beat Mackenzie Dern. I mean, that's definitely a feather in the cap. Thing is, Angela Hill is very good with takedown defense. She's very fast. She moves well. She's not a girl that's easy to get a hold of. At plus 135, I like Angela Hill by a decision here over Amanda Ribas. I'm going to ride with Angela Hill as a dog pickup here because I really do think she can deliver in this fight. And I think she's still in her relative prime. Even at 36, she's looking better and better each fight. And I'm going to pick Angela to beat Amanda Ribas here. I think she can do it. I think she's got the striking ability and the takedown defense to give her serious problems, and I do think she gets the win. All right, let's get to, I believe, the co-main event of the evening. Already at the co-main event, flew by. This whole stream's flowing by. We've been on here 23 minutes already. I guess we haven't been here too long. We're used to those hours and hours MMA full card play-by-play stream, so 20 minutes isn't too long. But let's talk about this fight, Ben Rothwell and Philipe Lins. I actually think the matchmaking makes sense. I'm gonna say for Lins, I think the loss is leaving town. I mean, lost to Arlovsky and a knockout loss to Tanner Bozier. Granted, those guys are decent level heavyweights, still not top of the top. A ton of momentum was coming his way. I mean, he was the champ over at PFL. He came into the UFC with a ton of hype. I thought that he would actually do fairly well, at least with the guys outside of the top 15. Hasn't looked great. Looks a bit slow. Looks a bit sluggish. He looks like he's not at the level we expected. And he's facing off against these UFC monsters. And now they put him across the cage against Ben Rothwell, a 6'4", 265-pound beast of a human being. He's got an 80-inch reach, so the reach is only 2 inches longer. He's got a very awkward style, though, Ben Rothwell. He lands with power in his hands. Philipe Lins is not super fast. I don't necessarily think he'll be able to outbox Ben Rothwell. In the clinch exchanges, I think it's competitive. Rothwell, I mean, he's a guy that definitely can come on strong, and he can last. I mean, he's not a guy that gets finished easily. When's his last finish loss? I think it's been a fairly long time. Let's check this out. He's not been finished since 2013 by a guillotine choke. He hasn't been knocked out since 2009. Philipe Lins is in for a stern test here against a UFC veteran heavyweight with a well-rounded game and a very awkward style. I like Ben Rothwell to win this fight here. I could see it by a decision, knockout, or a submission, which is weird, you know, to see all three. But I feel like if Lins somehow gets hurt on the feet, I do see him shooting for the legs. And if you look back in the day, Ben Rothwell had some pretty nasty submissions. Remember when he put away Matt Mitrione? I think Ben Rothwell still's got a little bit left in the gas tank. He's not 40 just yet. And I think that Ben Rothwell gets a hard-fought win here over Philipe Lins. He's actually a slight underdog in this fight. minus 105. Really depends on what bookmaker you're going to. You're pretty much looking at even money on both guys. I'm going to ride with Ben Rothwell, though. I do think he's got the experience at the highest level to win this fight and the tricky style. And honestly, I just haven't been super impressed by the game of Philipe Lins. Was beat up and dominantly outboxed against Andrei Arlovski. And then in his last one, knockout loss to Tanner Bozier. I think Ben Rothwell can go out there and put him away. And I think he might even get the knockout here in the second round. I don't know about the first. I think the first, they're feeling each other out. It's competitive, especially the awkwardness of Ben Rothwell and how he's been looking lately. But I do think victory Rothwell, excuse me. Do I love a bet on Rothwell? I don't love it. He's let us down before, but I do think he beats Lins. If you're going to bet it wisely. It's not the strongest of confidence bet pickups here. Big Ben is in the co-main event. You know that there's a very odd card going on for the UFC. Look at Bellator's card. If you guys haven't watched the full card predictions yet, I have those up. Check them out after this video. I got all the Bellator picks out. Bellator's got a great card. Like, honestly, Bellator and UFC are starting to go more and more head-to-head with these cards. I'm not saying Bellator will ever overtake the UFC. It can't. I mean, the pay-per-view cards are another level. But the free TV cards, or the ESPN Plus cards, Bellator is very competitive. I mean, now they're on Showtime. There's a lot of money behind them. They're bringing action-packed cards. They're becoming what Strikeforce once was. And I really love seeing it because Bellator always brings good fights. But we're talking about UFC, and now we're talking about the main event. And if you have not yet, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. The goal is 100 likes on this video. We need as many likes as we can get. So smash those likes. Subscribe. We're covering all things MMA. Right now we're talking about UFC Vegas 26. Marina Rodriguez versus Michelle Waterson. Waterson, long-time MMA veteran. I mean, if you look, she was on Bully Beatdown way back in the day. She was known before she came over to the UFC. Angela Hill in her last fight, she won a very close split decision. Could have went Hill's way. She is also 35. Her opponent, Marina Rodriguez, newer face to the game, but is 34 years of age here, coming off a big win over Amanda Ribas. She put Amanda Ribas down. Her punching is very good. Her boxing skill is difficult to deal with. You look at the loss. Carla Esparza loss and a draw with Cynthia Calvillo. Both very aggressive with grappling attacks. Not really strikers. Karate Hottie is a karate style striker. I mean, more of a kickboxing style, but she does have the karate background. She's very fast. Her movement is very good. Marina Rodriguez definitely is the heavier handed of the two, and I do think that could be a factor in this fight. But Karate Hottie has a lot of 5-round experience. She's been in there. Has Marina Rodriguez, as of recent, gone 5 rounds? I know she hasn't in the UFC. Let's see if we can find any 5-round fights here as of recent. Let's see. Dating back to 2017, I'm not seeing 5-round fights. I'm seeing 3-round fights. My concern with Marina Rodriguez is going to be, how's the gas tank looking? How's it going to be after the rounds? She also has a draw against Randa Marcos. Crazy, Randa Marcos' name is pretty much on every female's record. She's good at going 3 rounds. She tends to have a decent amount of gas still left, but how will it be when she goes 5 rounds? They're both straw weights, but this fight is at flyweight. Who does that favor? I think that favors Marina Rodriguez. She's the naturally bigger girl. 5'6" to 5'3", 65-inch reach to 62-inch reach. Marina Rodriguez in the clinch exchanges, I think, is going to be a bit stronger than the Karate Hottie. I think she'll pressure forward and she will land some decent strikes, but I think Karate Hottie will have her way as well. I think we're looking at a competitive fight. I'm thinking 48-47 Marina Rodriguez if I'm giving you like a really detailed prediction. I like Marina Rodriguez on a decision, but her never going the 5 rounds and at the minus 190, don't love the bet here. If you want to bet the dog Karate Hottie by a decision, I actually wouldn't hate that bet because she has more 5-round experience. Props right now, fight goes to decision. It's expected to. I do think Marina Rodriguez slightly edges her out, but we have to acknowledge Karate Hottie is very fast. She's very good. Very different styles of striking, though. More the Karate-esh, more the awkward, plodding style Marina Rodriguez brings with heavy power in the hands. I don't think a finish here is going to happen, though. I think we're looking at 5 rounds of work. And I think hard-fought decision for Marina Rodriguez over the Karate Hottie, but it could truly go either way. I would call this pretty much a pick'ems matchup here. Overall, we're looking at a pretty good card. The video's not over yet. We're going to do some parlays. We'll talk about some things. I'll answer some questions in the live chat and give that a look as well. let's quickly bring up the betting screen and let me check out these live chats. Will I be covering PFL? Most definitely I'll be covering PFL. Don't worry about it. It's coming out tomorrow. Of course. We don't miss anything. Don't worry, guys. PFL's coming out tomorrow. And then the Canelo Saunders fight. You guys are asking if I could talk about it. I'll see how the timing aligns with the UFC event, but I'd be open to doing a play-by-play of that. And to Scrappy Coco, yeah, man, I don't think that I'd want to throw down too much on either one of those girls. I think that's a risk to take. But all right, let's talk about the potential parlays. I'm going to go through some of the safer bets that I think are worth throwing money down. All right. Bets I feel strongly confident in that can deliver you maximal profit. I like Geoff Neal. I like Kyle Daukaus. And I like Tafon Nchukwi. Plus 329. This 3-leg parlay is very good because all of your bets are under the minus 200 point. Gives you the better number here, especially if you do it earlier in the week. This is a 3-5 parlay I really like. I do think we'll succeed on this 3-5 parlay. I'd say it's fairly safe, but it's MMA betting. Somebody can get knocked out. Obviously, someone can get submitted, but still, as safe as you can get with MMA betting, this is definitely moderately safe here. And I do like this parlay a lot. If you want to add some more to it and you want to spice things up, Angela Hill brings you to a plus 951. That's a little nerve-wracking, but at the end of the day, Hill has the tools to win this fight. Who's another person that I'd bring on? If I had to give you one more, I'm going to go with Gregor Gillespie to bring me to plus 1,570. Neal, Daukaus, Nchukwi, Hill, Gillespie, plus 1,570. Those are some pretty good odds, and I do think that could be something to play. I'm going to play it personally. I don't know how much I'm going to throw down. I won't bet the house on it, but I do think it's possibility of success here. If you're looking for more than this risk right here and you want to add in maybe one or two more, you're one of those adrenaline junkies and you just want to take as much profit as you can potentially make with a serious amount of risk as well, you could bring in Carlston, because he does have a good wrestling base, and that tends to mess with a guy like Aguilera, who's more of a brawler. Plus 2,763. This is crazy. Your lines might not even let you do this, but we're going to throw one last name, and the name is going to be Marina Rodriguez. Plus 4,231. Does this hit? Maybe. We'll find out. We got Geoff Neal, Kyle Daukaus, Tafon Nchukwi, Angela Hill, Gregor Gillespie, Carlston Harris, and we have Marina Rodriguez to bring us plus 4,231. A riskier parlay. It's not for the faint of heart, but there are some possibilities there. I really wish they had all the prop bets up because I really want to talk deep about the prop bets, but we're definitely going to hit that later on in the week. Also, guys, let me know what you think of the live format. If you prefer it pre-recorded, if you like it live, if you want me to do both, I'm open to that as well. Thankfully, this card is up now. I got some questions I'm going to check out here. Park getting takedowns. I don't think Park is physically strong enough to deal with a guy like Nchukwi, and I don't think his wrestling is extremely high level. I mean, he controlled John Phillips, but I don't consider John Phillips really UFC caliber by any means. A Bellator and UFC parlay combined? I mean, since we're sitting here, we can play with that real quick. We're going confident picks in Bellator. The Bellator card is interesting, and there's not even a full betting profile up yet, which is pretty irritating, but I talk about some things in the video with the Bellator card that I think there are definitely some high possibilities of some high earnings. If I'm going to mix the two, I'm going Johnny Eblen and Rafael Stotts. And I'm also going to throw the name. Who do I want to put? Who do I feel I want to bring out? I guess I kind of lean Neal, now plus 176. And Daukaus for plus 373. If you're looking to cross-play it a bit, without too much risk, but still some good reward. Johnny Eblen minus 380, Rafael Stotts minus 240, Jeffrey Neal minus 185, Kyle Daukaus minus 140 equals plus 373 on the lines there. There's definitely money to be made. I'm so disappointed that Bellator doesn't get that epic co-main event between Rumble Johnson. That was a letdown. It really was. And there's also more guys in Bellator. They don't have the odds yet, but Logan Storley is an absolute lock in Bellator. I think a dog pickup. I think Rafael Carvalho is probably going to be a dog over Lorenz Larkin. Check out the video, the full card Bellator predictions. they're up already. So after this video, go check them out, and you can get some betting ideas from there. Maybe some cross play you guys will want to do. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. I know normally I don't usually do the live streams, but honestly, I really enjoy doing it. It gives us a little bit better fan interaction with one another. We get to talk, and I get to respond to you guys directly, not just through comments here. I look like Dan Hardy. That's hilarious, man. Someone the other night told me I sound like Paul Felder, so I'll take that compliment, man. Dan Hardy's a true savage, man. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Going through the entire card. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I had a great time talking to you guys as always. If anything happens with the card, if any bout subjects change, if they remove the Rodriguez fight, we'll do a whole new full card prediction video. But let me know in the comments, whether you're watching on replay or you're watching live, what you guys thought of my predictions, what you guys thought of the full card live prediction versus the pre-recorded stuff. Goal is 100 likes on this video. As I said earlier, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I appreciate everybody tuning in live. Also appreciate all of you guys tuning in on replay. We got PFL predictions coming out tomorrow. Cannot wait to talk about that. Hit me up in my DMs if you got any specific betting style questions. Always down to answer them. Cannot wait for the next video. Always love giving you guys the best content possible. I will see you all in the next one.